ALG really saved me. I put all of my success on joining this group. People constantly checking in saved me.
I made so many friends with people that I've never met, but I feel incredibly close to, and I consider them family.
It really is a family. It is a place where you can just be yourself and there is no judgment. There is no shame. You are so welcome there.
Nobody has to be in this alone. Everybody is either going through or has gone through the same thing at one point.
Let's do this.
Welcome back to the ALG podcast. If you're listening to this on the day of drop, happy Friday to you. Really quick at the top of the show, if you could 5-star rate and review, those 5-star rates and reviews go a very long way. All right, guys, we have a really special episode today. As always, I am John Arpino, otherwise known as J-Rob's Journey. I am joined alongside my partner in crime, David Roden, fit_D-Rock. And today we have dumbbells and tattoos. My man, Greg. Greg, what is going on, brother?
What's going on? How are you fellas?
Chilling, man, chilling. How's everything going for you, man?
Everything's great, man. I can't complain. Everything's good. Life's good. Work's good. Workouts are good. Can't complain.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear it. So before we get into the nitty gritty of your journey, why don't you just give us a brief overview, who you are, where you're from, and most importantly, how much are you down to date?
So my name is Greg. I'm from New York, Rockland County to be specific. Right now I'm down to date. Let's see, I weighed in 240 this morning. So right now I'm down 160 pounds right now to date.
160. Let's go.
160. Started at 400. Yep.
That is
hey, we're at the same spot with me. I was 410 at my heaviest.
There you go.
So, first of all, how did you do it?
So I had the gastric sleeve, and you know what? It's all about the eating right, exercise, eating healthy. It's the lifestyle change, you know. And I always say, the gastric sleeve, it was a tool. It helped me lose the weight. It didn't do it for me, but it helped me.
Exactly. Which I come from the same philosophy. Me and you have spoke about this obviously via DM on Instagram. I myself also had the gastric sleeve surgery done, and I always tell everyone, it's just a tool. It's just another tool in your utility belt that's trying to get you from point A to point B. It's not a silver bullet. It's nothing, fancy. Because if you don't work with it, it will work against you. You know what I mean? And you could totally reverse the whole thing quite simply.
100%.
So let's take it back. Childhood, upbringing, always obese, obesity later on in life. How did you get to 400 pounds?
So, always in high school, I was doing sports. I was in shape. I was healthy. I feel like as soon as after high school, I stopped doing sports. I stopped playing sports, and I just kind of fell off of there. I never worked out. I always ate. Growing up, I always wanted to eat snacks. I was sneaking the snacks from my parents, all that shit, So I feel like as soon as I moved out and I stopped with high school, I was on my own. I kind of felt like, oh, now I can pay for my own stuff. I'll go buy this. I'll go buy that. I'll go eat this. And then it kind of escalated way too much from there.
Right. I don't know about you, but my childhood dream, when I get really mad at my parents when they told me I couldn't have something, in the back of my head, I was like, fuck you. I cannot wait to be older because then I could go to the store and buy whatever the fuck I want, come home and eat it.
Oh,
wait.
100%.
You guys got told no?
All the time.
I never got told no. If I wanted Taco Bell, I fucking got Taco Bell.
Oh, I mean, I got Taco Bell, but when John went over 3 slices of pizza and 3 became 5, someone had to be like, hey, cuz.
Someone did?
Yeah.
Literally, there was never, from my entire upbringing, I don't really think there was I think he had too many slices. I don't think I ever heard it.
Oh, no. I have vivid memories of arguing with my mom about too many.
Never.
Screaming matches.
Nope.
See, I feel like, no matter how big I got, I always had nobody ever told, except for my parents and my family, they always told me you got to relax a little bit. I always said to them, no, I'm good. Right. But then from my friends, from other people I knew, acquaintances, everyone was like, nah, man, you look big as fuck, blah, blah, blah. you know, because I was just like a big solid mass. So like I was bouncing at the time. Also, like everyone said, "Oh, you look brolic, you look big," blah blah blah.
Absolutely.
So I never saw myself as that big until I lost the weight. You know.
Of course. Well, there's always that conversation. Hey, bro, how fat do you think I am? Like, how much do you think I weigh? And like everyone over undershoots it. You know what I mean? Like if you're 450, everyone's gonna be like, bro. "Oh, I don't know, cuz like maybe you're 325, 350," and you're like, "Yes, you're absolutely right. I am, and I look fucking good."
Damn straight, I look good. I must be evenly distributed because I'm 4'10", but everyone thinks I'm 3'10", so I must look pretty fucking good.
And then you're like, "Ma, I just wear my weight really well. I can't, God blessed me." And then you're in the corner, 500 pounds, crying yourself to sleep at night.
Pulling off the cell phone, taking upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? I was like I said, I was 400 pounds, but like I got to think to I always thought to myself, I'm the most agile 400-pound fucking guy out there.
Always.
I'm out there. I'm still doing manual labor jobs. I'm still like at the time when I was that big, like I worked for a solar company where like I had to crawl through attics and shit. 400 pounds, I'm crawling through attics. Like that's why like it came to my head. I'm like, you know what? I'm not that bad. You know, I can still do this. Like, yes, I hurt a little bit, but like I'm still doing it. But
that's the norm. That was the norm. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing to tell you that wasn't regular.
Yeah.
At all. So at what point did you kind of have a conversation with yourself like, "Hey, Greg, you gotta calm down a little bit"?
You know what? I went to I was in Seaside in New Jersey and I went to one of the fucking boardwalk rides. And I don't know, you probably know, John, that one ride it's that white thing that goes up in the air. It's the 2 seats on each side that swings around like a window.
Yeah.
I went on that shit and the fucking shoulder thing wouldn't go over me. And I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm embarrassed. I feel like shit. I honestly, I didn't go on any other rides after that for a long time, even after I lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah. See, I love a good amusement park story. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love amusement parks. I love roller coasters. I love all those rides. I love the thrillers. And that kind of did it for me. If I couldn't fit in that and I couldn't ride the ride, I was like, shit, I got to do something to change this.
Bro, I feel that. Like it's funny. Every time we have someone on here, everyone's got an amusement park story. And I feel like every fat kid across America loves roller coasters, but they just don't let us on the roller coasters. They just don't let us on the roller coasters. David has a good story.
Which one? Oh, you talking about my excess skin removal?
No, don't you have a regular "I'm too fat to fit on this ride" story?
Oh, I had a couple of. I mean, the classic to me was the this was after my weight loss, and I hadn't had excess skin removal surgeries yet, but I lost like 160 plus at this point, and I'm at Cedar Point with my couple buddies for their birthday. And actually, no, this was after my excess skin removal surgeries because that was the whole part about it. But far after, we're all day, hot, sweaty day, and I reeked something awful. And I'm sure I was in basketball shorts, cut off, reeked something awful. It was like 90 degrees out, and this girl is literally at ass height right behind me, going up the stairs to the ride. And I feel sorry for this girl, and she taps me on the back. And so I'm like, oh shit. And I turn around and I thought she was going to say like, "You smell like swamp ass" or something. And she looks at me and she goes, "David," or she didn't say David, but she goes, I just have to tell you this. You have the greatest ass I've ever seen on a guy. And I look at her and part of my first excess skin removal surgery was I had a butt lift. And so I looked at her, I was like, yeah, I had a butt lift.
That's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it made my day.
Take a whiff, baby. Just take a whiff.
Oh, I bet you I reeked something awful too. So I'm just like, my ass must look real good because it had to outweigh that ranky butt right there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. So Greg, we have the experience at Seaside. It doesn't go our way. What happens after that?
What happens after that? I actually lost weight. This was when I forget what age. I think around like 20 years old, maybe 19. I lost weight. I got down to about 300.
Okay.
This is when I was only at like 350. I got down to 300, and then this was all natural, no surgery or anything. But then, you know, one cheat meal added up to 2 cheat meals, then a cheat month, and all that shit. Oh, I'll get back on sooner or later. Blah, blah.
Right.
Never did. Went back up to 400. So basically, you know, I ended up getting the surgery because it's, you know, my whole thing was I never felt satisfied. I was always hungry. So I figured if I get the surgery, it'll take away that hunger aspect and I'll be good. Like I have no problem eating healthy. It's just I never felt satisfied. I was always hungry.
Now, was this something that you inquired with your doctor about, or did your doctor turn around to you and kind of suggest it? Like, how did that happen?
I had a friend that got it.
Okay.
That I talked to him about, and I got some information from him.
Oh, and it was a guy?
Oh yeah, it was a guy.
Oh wow,
Yep.
you're super lucky.
Yeah,
super lucky.
I got all the information from him, and you know, my parents, they were against it completely at first. Yeah. So I kept talking to him about it. I said, listen, like this, I did the weight loss once, you know, it sucked, but like I failed at it. I went back up, if not more. And this is just something I feel like I need to do. So my mother was against it completely, but my father was eventually like, all right, well, if this is something you really think you need to do, you know, let's go for a consultation. Let's take it from there. Let's at least take the first step and get some information.
Right.
And then, you know, it was just like a snowball effect after that. We got the information, and, you know, everyone, you know, the doctor there was saying I'm a great candidate for it, blah, blah, blah. So that's how it kind of like just kept going.
Absolutely.
I'm so intrigued. How many times does a doctor say you're not a good candidate?
Oh, it's happened, but yeah,
it does happen.
It does happen.
I feel like it's like a plastic surgeon when you go and it's like, I want a boob job. You know, you're a very good candidate for a boob job. Of course, you're a candidate for a boob job. Every plastic surgeon wants money,
to do. Right?
Your money looks very good.
Your money looks very good on. I could just see that. I'm sitting there going, what?
No, with bariatric surgery, no, there is, you know, I've met people who have been over a certain criteria of weight, and they've turned around and said, you know, you're not a candidate right now. You have to, you know, try to lose on your own. You know, you need to lose X, Y, Z, and then come back, and then we can talk about it.
Gotcha.
So in that realm, that's definitely a thing, because naturally we all think, oh, a doctor wants to make money, insurance company wants to make money, yada yada yada. But you can't put a 650-pound man under anesthesia for an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long the procedure takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
complications start getting
not a good candidate.
Yep.
There are big complications. At first, I actually, before I did the weight loss surgery, I checked into the balloon thing. You know, they put a balloon in your stomach. It was Dr. Weiss in Tri-State Bariatrics.
Okay.
And but at first I looked into that balloon thing where they put the balloon in your stomach and then they inflate it just to take up room pretty much. And basically they said my BMI was too high for that.
Yep.
I wasn't a candidate for that.
Yep.
So then after that, my father, before we went to the surgery aspect, he goes, let's try one more thing. I did this, they tried to hypnotise me.
Oh, no shit! That like? I've never met anyone who did hypnotism for weight.
Yeah,
you don't like chocolate. You like salad.
I tried the hypnotism, and just to appease my father, you know, just to get his blessing so I can get the surgery.
Of course, yeah.
Didn't work, obviously. You know, I don't believe in.
What was that like? I'm just so intrigued. Come on. Was it?
Yeah, please walk me through that.
We got like this, and like.
So basically, I sat there, and she's literally just trying to talk to me about like my childhood, and like, granted, like we had some good conversation about my childhood on like how I wanted to eat more than like I should have and shit, but like there was no way you were hypnotizing me not to eat. Like it's my body, like I feel hungry, I'm gonna fucking eat, you know?
Right.
It's not a mind thing at that point. Like I was hungry, so I ate, and I just never felt not hungry, so I just kept eating. So that was the problem.
So it was never any like medical background, like nothing like that. You weren't on any medicine that was making you hungry all the time. You know, it was just, you were just a hungry kid.
Yeah, man, that was it. Like that's basically what I feel like.
See, that's how it was for me too.
And you know what it is? It's you know, we were talking about complications before with you know, going under anesthesia and shit. And like you know, John, you know, with all the bariatric surgery, they make you get clearances for everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And one of the clearances, you know, was a sleep study.
Yes.
I had absolutely horrible sleep apnea. Absolutely horrible.
Oh, you went undiagnosed though until this?
I mean, my father has sleep apnea, and he knew that I had it also, but like I always tried to deny it, saying
Right.
like, no, I just snore. That's it. Whatever.
Right.
So I finally had to go for the sleep study. Bro, when I tell you, like, nothing scared me more than this sleep study. I got the results back. I stopped breathing 142 times an hour.
Yep.
In my sleep.
I believe it.
In my sleep. Like, so every time, you know, I'd wake up the next morning, I'm tired as fuck, you know, like I'd be falling asleep at work. No shit. If I'm waking up that much during the night with my body telling me, and you know what really also got me going also with losing this weight, gave me more motivation, was that when I wasn't sleeping, I was in denial. So I always told myself that I wasn't sleeping. I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. So I would take NyQuil. I'd take a couple shots to help the NyQuil.
Right.
I would, you know, I'd take sleeping pills just to like help me sleep. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, taking all that to make me sleep and not wake up could have potentially killed me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So that was a big eye opener for me to like keep me motivated and to lose all this weight.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me when it comes to that front, because like, so I didn't have any type of surgery personally. I don't care. Like we talk about this constantly. Natural versus not, it's bullshit. Like the surgery, like any type of surgery is not the secret. Exactly. Right. It's not some secret.
We all do the same stuff. We eat right, we work out, we exercise, we keep healthy. All it is for us is that it just helps us a little bit with the eating aspect.
Well, that's where I was about to ask you personally, because like for me, people can tell you this to this day that eat around me, that are around me. I can eat whenever I want. And when I say I can eat, I can, like, I don't feel full ever. Like I stop eating because of discipline, not because of full. I help influence it by focusing on a high protein diet and do these things. But like contrary to popular belief, even though I've lost 200 pounds, I'm not kidding you. Like I've had friends say this to me. I'll have like a 14-ounce sirloin steak with some baked potatoes and a boatload of vegetables. And then 45 minutes later, I'm having Greek yogurt and something else. And they're all looking at me like, David, you're not full for the next 6 hours. I'm like, no, I could eat right now if I wanted to. Like that's where I do agree with some of these intuitive eaters and all this kind of stuff in this community. Like there's something interesting about people that are obese and how they're a lot of them. I could always eat. I can just continually eat. How has that been post-surgery compared to pre-surgery? How is that like, if a 10 is what you used to be on feeling hungry after surgery, and now that you've sustained 160-pound weight loss, is it still a 10 and you just created discipline? Is it now at a 6? Where would you say like your hunger consistently is at now?
So basically, at first, when I was losing the weight, I wasn't lifting weights or anything at that point. I felt like I was just eating just because I needed the nutrients.
Right.
Like I wasn't hungry at all. When I started lifting weights, I got more hungry because my metabolism went up. So now I feel like I eat very frequently now. It's still little amounts, but I'm still eating very frequently. Basically, like even for work, for breakfast, I make a pound of egg whites and pound of egg whites. I add whatever I want in there, and then lunch, it's like grilled chicken, peppers, and some like protein pasta and whatever. But like those 2 meals, it's like a big ass Tupperware. I'll pick on that throughout the day.
Yes.
You know, it's never eating one full meal like that in one sitting. It's always throughout the day. So like I'll still get the meal in. It just won't be in one shot.
Gotcha.
Now, how far out are you?
What are we at? I think a little over 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
I was,
That's not
yeah,
bad.
October 2018, I had my surgery.
Okay, so I had mine in November of 2016. So
Okay.
I'm quite a ways out, at this point. And I get that question asked me a lot, what, like, how much can you take in? Because here's what people also seem to forget is, like, yes, you have the gastric sleeve done. You have 3/4 of your stomach taken out, the whole deal.
Yep.
But the human body is a crazy thing, because eventually that comes back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's not a forever, ever, 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 ever thing. And I don't care
Yep.
who you talk to in this realm, in the bariatric realm, and eventually it's gonna come back. So, like, when I started my journey, when I first got gastric sleeve, I couldn't eat anywhere near what I was eating beforehand. To this day, I still can't eat anywhere near that. But, like, so let's say, for example, when I first started, I could only eat 5 ounces at a time. I could probably eat now 15 to 20 ounces at a time. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely increases. But like you said before, when I first started this journey, I wasn't lifting weights. So my metabolism was garbage. You know what I mean? As soon as I started lifting and going to the gym and doing more cardio and this and that and that and this, your body is naturally going to say, hey, buddy, like, we need to fuel.
Yes.
And
exactly.
I talked to my doctor about that, because at first I was scared. I don't know about you, but, like, when I first woke up from surgery that following day, I walked around, like, I was all by myself in my house, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Like,
yeah,
I'm so used to going into the fridge, looking at, the food in my fridge.
Yes, you felt lost at first.
At first, I was like,
yourself.
I was like, what do I do? So
because it's a part of the routine at that point.
Exactly. And that's a part of our DNA. And my dumbass at first decided, you know what? I'm going to make a protein shake. So I make myself a protein shake, and I put in this huge glob of peanut butter, like a moron.
Oh,
and
man.
This thing is getting stuck, but I'm drinking it, and I drink this fucking shake. So then I call my doctor, and the first 6 months, Greg, I'm not kidding you, I was convinced that my doctor did not perform surgery on me, and they just shook me down for insurance money. Like, I was just like, don't know why, but I was just like, yeah, I was like, what is going on? I feel like I could eat all this food, not realizing I really can't, and my eyes were just bigger than my stomach. But yeah, but what the point I'm trying to get is, over time, you will get that space back. It's just, how disciplined are you right now? Because the discipline that you're putting in right now is a building block to how you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Yes, exactly.
So where are you right now? And as far as I know, that you're working out all the time. Are you back to playing sports? Are you doing anything like that? I know you do manual labor. You work for DOT, right?
Yeah. New York State DOT. So constant manual labor. Like the past 3 days, we've been doing filling potholes. So I've been shoveling 3 tons of blacktop each day.
My God.
So it's like, yeah, I go to the gym, I do that. That's pretty much it. I mean, right now I've been maintaining around, 230, 240, maybe 245. Right. But like the lowest I have gotten, I actually got down to 190.
Wow. You got down to 190. Hello.
Yeah, man. So that was about 210 pounds. But that was totally like not on the plan at all. I got down to 210 because I was just on that kind of train on lose weight. That's it. That was all on my mind. And, then my family members, they started saying like, oh, like you kind of look like a skeleton, like relax, like stop losing weight. Yeah. And I was like, no. Because the body dysmorphia is like so bad at that point where like you just want to keep losing weight. So I was at 210 and then I ended up getting sick. So I got a really bad throat infection, and that was not with the weight loss, nothing like that. It was with work. I was inhaling like debris that was in the air and stuff.
Wow.
Got a really bad throat infection. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I ended up losing another 20 pounds within like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because I just couldn't eat anything. And at 190, I looked ridiculous. I looked sick. It was horrible. So then I finally, got over that. I gained the weight back a little bit, and then I started putting on muscle, and that's kind of like where I'm at now.
See, that's always like an interesting one. How has that balance been for you? Because I know getting into strength training, getting into quote unquote more bodybuilding, bigger workouts, you start to wanting to eat more to fuel the muscles, to build muscle. But being from our experience, it's so I've seen so many people in the obesity transformation space go from losing 150, losing 200, going, I'm getting into strength training, powerlifting, and they start to eat to fuel their body and they lose perspective. And then all of a sudden they gain 80 pounds. And so how has that dynamic been for you?
So basically when I was gaining that weight, obviously like I was on the scale, I'm looking at the number going up. I got scared, I got frightened. Like I was so like, I got down on myself. I got a little depressed a little bit, but then I actually went back to my bariatric doctor and the nurse practitioner over there. I was talking to her about it and she goes, you know what? A good way to think about it at this point, which it blew my mind what she said. Like it really spoke to me, was don't worry about the number on the scale at this point. You're gaining muscle, you're doing this, you're doing all the right things, you're eating right. Worry about your clothing size. So basically, when I was 190 pounds, I was a size 34 waist. I'm at this morning, I weighed in at 244. I'm still at a size 34 waist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
You know what? There it is right there. It's, you can't at this point, gaining weight, gaining weight, muscle weight. I mean, you got to just worry about the clothing size and that's it. You can't look at the number because it's going to freak you out and you're going to get discouraged at that point.
So when you started this journey, what was your figurative weight loss goal? Like, did you put a number on it? Like, did the doctor ever ask you, what do you want to get down to?
You know what? They did ask me that. At first, I never put a number weight on it. At first I was kind of naive and I just said, I want to lose a fuck ton of weight. That was the answer, As I started getting closer to like a good weight, I kept thinking to myself, you know what? I want to go until I can look at myself in the mirror and I'm happy with myself.
Absolutely.
You know what? That's kind of where I finally got to. And you know what? The bad part about that answer is the body dysmorphia set in. And I just kept wanting to lose weight because I kept seeing the old fat Greg, and so when I did get to 190, there was that. I took pictures and I ended up going back up, like I told you, but now I'm at 244. And like, I compare the two pictures and I look at the 190 Greg and I'm thinking to myself, I look horrible there.
Yes.
I look absolutely horrible. You don't notice until you compare it to another picture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the lowest on record that I ever got down to was about 240, about 239, 240. And I did that out of spite. And when I say that, like, so when I walked into my first bariatric consultation, the doctor looked at me, he goes, okay, so what do you want to get down to? Respectfully, like, what do you want to get down to? And I was walking in there. So I had already lost 80 pounds on my own before bariatric surgery for me was even a thing. So I was like, well, I'm 488 right now. I'd like to half that. I think it would be really cool. I think that would be really dope to half my own body weight. So that brings us down to like 244 pounds, right? So he goes, oh, that's not possible. And I go, what do you mean that's not possible? He goes, well,
that would have drove me nuts.
Exactly. So he goes, well, with your height and your current weight and your background, he goes, I'm thinking like 265 is really, where you're going to be, without getting skin surgery, because you're really going to need that skin surgery. And I was like,
at
okay.
At that point, I would have been like, you want to bet, motherfucker?
That's what I did. I said, okay, bet. I said, all right, bet. Well, fuck you. And I will see you when all this is over. So me being a spiteful prick got down to 240, and I look like disgusting. Like I sunk in, I had the skeleton face, like I could see everything popping out of my neck and no muscle on me, like not an ounce of muscle on me. And I walked into the doctor's office and I was just like, hey, fuck you, I did it. Like, what's next? Like, I'll have that skin consultation now. So, I got that done, but now I'm like, I sit between 255 to 265, depending on, what's going on in my life. And I compare those two pictures, like you just said, even before the skin surgery, I'm just like, wow, you look gross. Like, what are you thinking? Like,
exactly.
This is a very comfortable weight for you. Don't do that anymore. But so on the body dysmorphia thing, like, did you have skin surgery? Because I've never had that conversation with you.
I did. I had a 360 body lift. So
that's what I did.
It's basically the tummy tuck that goes all the way around.
I wish. That's what I should have done, but my doctor didn't want money, which is weird. But go ahead, continue with your story.
Yeah, well, I went in for just a regular tummy tuck, and the doctor was like, listen, you have the little bit on the side where, like, I wouldn't feel good if I left that.
Wow, you had a great doctor.
Honestly, he was great. He was phenomenal. He did a great job. Basically, he used to do gastric sleeve surgeries, so he knows all about it. Cool. So now he's strictly plastic surgery. So, but he knew all about it. He knew where I came from and what I want to achieve. Blah blah blah. So he recommended that. I said, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Let's do it. Yeah. And honestly, I wouldn't even look back. I wouldn't regret it one bit. It was a little, couple days of pain, couple days of discomfort, but I would not take it back for the world. Course. Exactly.
Yeah. So
it made a world of difference.
Yeah. And it obviously helped with the body dysmorphia.
100%, especially because, like, at the weight I was at, I wanted to wear more, form-fitting clothes. I wanted to, show off my progress and everything. And that skin itself, if I wore jeans and like a form-fitting shirt, that skin looked like a fat roll to me. Yes. So it always brought me down. Like, I didn't like wearing shit like that just because of that. So I needed to get rid of it. My skin, everyone said, oh, your skin's not that bad. Why'd you do it? Blah, blah, blah. They don't understand where it wasn't that bad if you just looked at it, but I couldn't get to my physical appearance goals without getting that done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you didn't have your chest done, right?
No, but I thought about it. I'm like on the fence about it still, about doing it, but every doctor that I go see, he goes, just build more muscle and it'll fill in. I'm like on the fence about it. I don't know yet. So
I gotcha.
Still thinking about it.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I mean, I can relate to the whole fat roll thing behind the back thing, because my whole dilemma was I went to a plastic surgeon and I walked in already knowing what I wanted. Like, I went in, if I was walking into McDonald's, I was like, I have a number 2 and a fry, and I walked in knowing what was good. Yeah. And this dude looked at me and was like, no, you don't need a 360 body lift. Like, you don't need a fleur de lait or whatever the frig it's called. He was just like, I'm just going to give you a standard hip to hip. Everything's going to work out. After the swelling's gone, everything's going to be golden. And I was like, bro, I just lost 278 pounds. Like, I got mashed potatoes on my hips. Like, what are you talking about? So lo and behold, I now need a revision that I'm hoping to get done soon. But like, that's another thing that people don't understand is like, gastric sleeve is a very cut and dry situation. It's like a doctor knows what he's doing when it comes to gastric sleeve, but when it gets down to doing the skin surgery, you need to pick somebody who knows what they're doing, that they have experience with, someone who has had extreme weight loss, because a guy who's going in there who only lost like 30 pounds and he gets a tummy tuck is a totally different tummy tuck than a guy who lost 200 pounds.
It's an art at that point. It's like, like you can't just go into it of like, it's an art. Cause like, for example, Greg, for you, I mean, so when you had the full circumferential, the 360, did they do anything else in the process? Did they do lipo for contouring? Did they do anything else? Like, I know that just in the process, he just did it and that was it. Like, what do you happen to know if he did anything else in the process?
Yeah, that was it. He just did the 360 and that was it. We talked about that in the consultation about he looked at, the ab muscles and everything. He goes, I don't need to do any muscle repair or anything. Like,
see, I had to do that. See, that's crazy.
I had to get that done too.
Lena Alba, that's always crazy. So for anyone that doesn't know, when you're our size or anyone who needs to lose over 200 pounds, especially being at a young age, what happens is you get this like fatty tissue. So you got your abs, your little squares. And what happens to a lot of people, it's called linea alba. It's the center line between the two sets of square abs down the center. And what happens is a lot of people that are obese, you get this like fat bolus tissue right in the center between the two sets of abs. And you literally have to get it cut out, realigned, just sutured back together to get your abs back in place. And I'm telling you, that is painful.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I bet.
It's painful. Yeah. And at the same time, the day of my surgery, I was getting a little scratchy throat. Like I was getting a cough, but like I was not going to not get this fucking surgery. So I just kind of snuffed it off. And then being under the knife for 6-7 hours, like they put a tube down your throat, you're intubated, the whole shebang. And so I had a really scratchy throat for the next 2-3 days from being intubated plus having a cough. And the feeling of coughing, it's all abs.
Oh, that's
Oh my
and it
God,
hurts
horrible.
so much. I was literally grabbing pillows and like burying it around my belly and just trying to
right here. Yeah.
And I would do that and it would hurt so.
And you would let out the littlest baby cough.
But it hurts so. Like people don't understand. Everything is core. Everything is core.
Yeah.
And it would being cut open like that and like. Now again, it's completely worth it because my core strength now and everything you need to do it, but it fucking sucks.
So that's where I kind of fucked up because the gastric sleeve surgery, I guess I did core. I worked out core way too early. So over time it was breaking down a little bit on my core, and I think this past, what was it, in December, I had to get another surgery. I had a abdominal hernia.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was funny though, because I go for the consultation and I know I have this hernia because I was doing sit-ups in the gym, and out of nowhere, I look down and I have this.
Oh, you had the full-on bulge and everything? Ooh.
It looked like there was a golf ball coming out of my stomach.
Yep, that shit's sketchy.
Was it painful or no pain?
It wasn't painful though. It was just the bulge. Thank God, you know. So I go there and the surgeon's looking at me and he goes, I don't know why that would come out there. It doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. And then it came to me while I was in there. I'm like, I had skin surgery. The scar that was where the hernia was is now below my belly button.
Yes.
It's not where it was. So I brought out a picture of me right after I had the surgery, and sure as shit, where the hernia was is right where my scar was before the skin surgery.
Yes.
So basically the incision never healed 100%. And I started doing ab workouts, and then eventually
all that pressure, you re-tear it open.
Good. Yeah, and it was good for a long time. But then COVID hit, the gyms closed. And then as soon as I got back in the gym, I started doing ab workouts, and me being the asshole that I am, I started doing the same weight that I did before the gyms were closed. And it started feeling like, it felt like an ab cramp.
Yes.
And at that time it did hurt. But then after that, it didn't hurt after that, which is very weird. So basically that pain was, I guess, the muscle wall opening.
Right.
So that's what I assumed. So then, after that, it's, went for the consultation. He said it was that, and then went for the surgery for it, which put me out again. I was pissed about that, but going back to the ab pain, it sucks, coughing and like everything uses abs, like even getting off the couch, getting out of bed.
Oh, it sucks.
Me, unfortunately, I inherited the gene from my father. My father, when he sneezes, he does like 13, 14 times in a row.
Same, bro.
So, bro, I don't do that much, but I'm like a good 7 or 8.
Yep.
So like when I start sneezing, it sucked, especially when I had that fucking surgery. When I was recovering, I was literally leaning over the arm of the couch with the pillow there, just so it wouldn't make that much of a difference. And
you're Italian, right, Greg?
Yes, three
Yes,
quarters Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an Italian thing because when I sneeze, it's like 8 or more. Like I'm good for 8. You know, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it
And then
just,
you know
it
what?
sucked.
Speaking of the whole sneezing thing, you know what? Let me ask you. So I did my own research on this. My nutritionist at the stomach surgery doctor didn't even know this. When you eat a lot, or not even a lot, when you get satisfied, when you eat enough, your stomach's full.
Runny
Does your
nose,
nose get runny?
runny,
You start sneezing.
runny and sneezing and hiccups.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So basically, I did my own research for that, and apparently there's a what do you call it? Not a gene. I can't think.
reflex.
Shit, I can't believe I can't think of it right now.
Neuro.
A enzyme, some sort of
Oh, okay.
enzyme, or
Oh, really?
that's in the top of the stomach. That when it gets triggered, it activates upper body involuntary movements.
Hmm.
I never
So
do this.
that's
I
what
mean,
that's from.
apparently, I
So
don't know how I never
I only
triggered that
discovered that.
because I always ate till I was full. So
Yeah, I don't know that's yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I don't know if they made you do this, but like when I had my surgery, I had to go for that group counseling thing. I had to do one for my
Yep.
insurance. Like I
Yep.
didn't have to keep going. And that was one of the things that they mentioned. And I was like, that's got to be a crock of shit. Like
I know,
my
right?
nose is gonna run when I get full. Like if I cough, am I gonna fart at the same time? Like what the fuck is going on? But sure as shit, yeah. Every time, that's how I know I'm full. Like that was always the like, oh, okay, you could stop now because your nose is fucking gushing snot.
Yeah.
We're out in a great restaurant right now, John. You need to go somewhere. But yeah, or I get this like obnoxious like that all the time,
Yep.
like just a hiccup. It's stupid annoying, and like I'll start belching for no reason. Yeah.
See, you know what?
So-
I never got, nobody ever said that in my they call it
Really?
a support group.
Yes, the
Nobody ever
support
said
group.
that.
Yeah.
I honestly, looking back on it now, thinking about it, I never really got like good information like that from the support group. So like that kind of drives me a little more like, my friends looking into the surgery and everything. And I told them like, I'll go to the support group with you. Cause like, I know the doctors there and everything. Like I'll go with you. But like now, like that kind of drives me more to be like more real about this whole surgery kind of thing. Like I've helped plenty of people. Like I've given my insight to plenty of people on Instagram and like all the platforms like that. I'm very real with everyone with all that. But like, that kind of drives me more to go into the support group. The doctors and shit, maybe they might not like that.
They don't know.
But
No,
Yeah, they either don't know or they
doctors-
don't like to talk about it. Yeah.
doctors don't know, and that's
Because-
coming from a person that's like,
you have to also look at it like this. Like you're trying to sell a whole group of people on this surgery, and then you're walking them through, and it's like, oh, by the way, every time you get full, your nose is gonna run, you're gonna burp, and yeah, like what? Like no, forget it. I'll
Yeah.
just fuck it. I'm going to Domino's after. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah. So
yeah, just that whole dynamic of that's the one thing that the weakness of doctors is like they know how to diagnose, they know how to do some great things, but how to actually speak and articulate to the average person of what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's if it like it's just that's not what they're good at.
Sucks.
Yeah, but like that's just not. They're really friggin' smart. They can diagnose. They can look at all these labs. That's great. But when it comes to the average person of working, that's just not their lane. They have no idea how that stuff works.
Absolutely. So actually, I wanted to circle back really quick on what you said earlier. So you happen to know another guy who had gastric sleeve before you had it, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you know how lucky that you are for actually knowing another guy, being a guy, obviously. I knew nobody. Like I was going in blind as shit. I knew one girl that I went to high school with, and we were like not really that friendly. Like we kind of had the same sort of friend group, but like we really didn't talk to each other. And then she like didn't let it be known that she had the surgery done, but then all of a sudden she dropped like 150 pounds in 7 months. So like you knew something was up. So I remember going to her at a house party. What? Go ahead. What?
Cocaine.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, with that group of friends, never mind. That's a story for another day. So at a house party one night, I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I don't want to like overstep my boundary here, but like, did you have the surgery And she looked at me and her eyes lit up and she was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, that's amazing, because I am going to have it myself. And I have a laundry list of questions that I need you to answer for me right now. And she was just like, yeah, like, of course, blah, 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 blah. But like, if I would have had a dude, like, if I would have had like one of my dudes like go through it, it would have been such a better experience, because I was looking at everything. And I know, we're in a culture right now where we're not supposed to see things like this, but like looking through it through a girl's lens and looking through it through a guy's lens, two totally different perspectives.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's called life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just two totally different things. So like the experiences that she was telling me, I had to take them into account. I had to think that, okay, this could happen, but like, there's stuff that's never going to happen to me. Like my period's not going to get fucked
it's we don't bleed once a month. That's not something I have to worry about right now.
Right. Yep. So like being able to have someone that you can relate to be like, hey, dude, like my dick kind of got bigger. Did that happen to you? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's some real shit.
Damn straight it does.
It is 100%. Fuck yeah.
That's too funny. So Greg, I got a question for you. So from what it sounded like going to nutrition wise for you, it sounds like you're a relatively high protein, mid fat, low-ish carb kind of vibe.
Definitely low fat and sugar.
Low fat and sugar. Okay.
Yeah. Carbs. I mean, I'm Italian. I fucking love carbs. No, high protein.
Well, I just remember that first meal was all egg whites. So I was okay. And then you said you had some.
Actually, I introduced, as I was lifting more, as I was working out more, I needed more carbs. I was, at first I was scared of carbs. That's all, the stomach surgery doctor, that's all they nailed into your head. Low carbs, low fat, low sugar, high protein. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's all that was in my head. So I was almost scared to introduce carbs because, carbs, I learned carbs will get you fat, and that's it. So basically what I did was I started on Instagram. I started following bodybuilders all the time, like a bunch of bodybuilders. And I started introducing carbs because they told you need carbs to build muscle, to get the energy to build muscle. So that's what I did. And I started feeling better in the gym. So I said, shit, I need carbs. I need protein. So basically I wouldn't say high carbs, but I would do like mid-level carbs between low and high,
Okay. Did you macro count at all? Do you have any idea what you're eating, or is it just, you just kind of go with the flow?
I go with, I go protein as high as I can. I just pretty much calorie count. I don't have the patience to macro count.
Right.
I don't have the
I totally
patience
get you.
for it.
What's your general calorie at?
I'm usually around 2,000 to 2,500 calories.
Cool. That's good.
Around there. I mean, I have I wear a Fitbit. I'm wearing it right now. This, tracks my calories burned and everything. Shit, with the gym and with work, I'm burning around 3,000, 4,000 calories a day. So right. It's, it's that much, I try to, calorie counting wise, I try to keep it as low as possible, just so if I feel like having a candy bar, if I feel like having a snack or something, it's not going to kill me, because I know
because you're working it in and you're burning it off. Yeah.
Exactly. But I know I'm still under the calories that I need to stay under, to be good.
Well, but at the same time, say you're eating 2,500 calories, you would get a lot of naive dietitians, nutritionists, people have never really dealt with obese people at this level going, wait, you throw concrete around all day, you strength train, you're only eating 2,500 calories. That's too little. You need to eat more. And it's like, I can tell you I'm 240 and I'm built like a brick shit house.
Right.
You can say I should eat more, but this is,
I can't.
Like,
exactly.
Like I'm not like, that's my favorite part is when someone who's doing well gets criticized by someone just because they just create the old TDE calculator. It's like, what are you going to tell you, man? Like, I've done this.
Exactly. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's working for me. I see where I'm at. I'm maintaining the weight that I'm at. I'm building muscle. I don't know what to tell you. I don't add up in your little fucking calculator there. So be
exactly. Because this journey is not cookie cutter. It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all based on what you put into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Greg, before we wrap it up, what is next for you on your journey? Where do you see yourself going, and what do you want to do?
Next for me, man, I honestly, I want to build muscle. I want to get big. I want to get lean. I had this picture in my head where I wanted to get shredded. Like, but at that point, I thought about being shredded. I'm like, you know what? I still like to eat those. I
Yeah.
still like to eat that cookie. I still like to. I have a horrible sweet tooth. I'm like, you know what? I'll be happy just being bulked up, lean as fuck. I
Right.
don't need to be shredded as long as I have some abs. I got my
Right.
little, in my real quick, in my notepad on my phone, I before I lost weight, I made a little to-do list, a weight loss to-do list, things to do after I lost the weight. So basically, my thing is, I want to build muscle, be big, look lean, and complete this to-do list, a weight loss to-do list.
So, what else is on that to-do list?
Let's see. I don't know if my video is going to cut out if I go look at it though. Let me see. Do you still see me now?
No,
Yeah, your camera
Okay.
cut out.
come back.
Geez.
Let me see that face.
Let me look real quick. And
You're good.
let's see. Or I can just say it to you while I'm blank right now because there's a lot. on here.
Just say it.
All right. So the first one is amusement parks.
Yeet.
Okay.
Amusement parks, kayaking.
Nice.
The third one is probably going to hit home with you guys too. Sit in a booth at a restaurant comfortably.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Skydiving, zip lining.
I don't know about that one.
I want to be able to fit and enjoy to be in a go-kart.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yep.
Scuba diving.
Oh, these are really solid.
I want to be in a Spartan race.
Let's go.
There's another thing. It's called a color run. Basically,
Yes.
they play a bunch of techno music and they shoot neon colors at you while you're running through this course. Inflatable run. You have to go through a bunch of what is
Like
it?
bounce
a bunch
houses?
of like one of those inflatable
Yeah.
obstacle courses.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
What else? Get abs, which I have them. I'm starting to see them already. They're not cut completely yet, but I'm starting to see them. And then last but not least, I've always wanted to be one of those guys that can there's a pole and hang on the pole
Oh, you want to do the
Sideways.
flagpole?
Oh, that's
I've always wanted to do
that's
that.
monstrous. That's called body weight
So-
strength.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's definitely the biggest goal right there is to do that.
Very
I
dope.
love the
bro.
list.
So
Yeah,
got a
that's a
whole list of
solid
things
list.
I
I think we
wanna
might
do.
have to start asking this on podcasts. 'cause that was
Yeah, I
really
like
good.
that.
Yeah. All right, Greg. So I have two questions for you before we wrap up this show. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. If you could go back in time and talk to Greg, who got thrown off that ride in Seaside Heights, he has no idea what he's going to encounter, where his life is going to take him. What would you tell him right now?
Jeez. Start listening to your parents when they say you're starting to look fat. when they say no, they didn't say I'm starting to look fat. They said you're starting to fill out more.
Right.
Listen to them. Absolutely listen to them. Start basically, getting your shit together. Start eating right. I would tell him, you don't want to be heavier growing into your older years because it's only going to get harder for you.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, last question. 3 pieces of advice for those listening at home, and they do not necessarily have to be about weight loss.
3 pieces of advice. Never get discouraged on what other people say about you because you're always working on yourself. Nobody knows your story. Always do you. Let's see. Always work hard and work on your own goals. Don't worry about what other people are doing. And third, if you want to eat that piece of cake, don't regret it. Don't sell yourself short. Eat that piece of cake. Get back on your shit after. Because if you don't eat it, you're gonna regret it, and then you're gonna fall off big time afterwards.
Absolutely. I love those.
Balance.
All right, Greg.
It's all about balance. Yeah.
Fact. No, it really is. All right, fellas. Greg, I appreciate you being on today. This has been an amazing conversation. For those at home who want to follow you, where can they find you? Plug all your social media, whatever you got going on, plug it now.
Instagram, dumbbells_tattoos. No, I'm sorry. I messed up. dumbbells_and_tattoos. That's my Instagram. TikTok. You can find me at the same name right there, just at dumbbells and tattoos, underscores between the words.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on. Really quick.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure. Excuse me. As always, guys, you can find the ALG Journal on Amazon.com. And also now actively live is ALG Coaching, www.algcoaching.com. You can find us each and every single Wednesday night on the ALG community call, which is absolutely free. And we would love to hang out with you. We're always accepting new members. 5-star rate review. Make sure you tip your waiter 15% or more. And I think that's really it. Anything else, David?
I'm looking forward to tonight's topic, NSVs, the greatest NSVs you've had. I'm looking forward to that Wednesday night call.
As am I. All right, guys, stay beautiful, stay sexy, stay accountable. Until next time.
Totals.
Bye-bye.